The morning began like any other high-profile television appearance, with Luke Bryan arriving at the Good Morning America studio smiling and greeting the crew. Fans outside the building cheered as cameras rolled, expecting a light-hearted conversation about music, touring, and his recent projects. Luke appeared relaxed at first, joking with the hosts and sharing small stories, but subtle tension lingered beneath the surface, unnoticed by most viewers watching live. As the interview progressed, the tone slowly shifted when questions moved away from music and toward more personal territory. Luke's body language changed, his smile tightening as he carefully chose his words. While he remained polite, it became clear he was uncomfortable with the direction of the conversation. The studio atmosphere, once warm and casual, started to feel heavier as the hosts pressed forward without fully reading the mood. Viewers at home noticed Luke adjusting in his seat, crossing his arms and pausing longer before responding. Social media users later pointed out that these moments often signal rising frustration. Though nothing overtly confrontational had happened yet, the tension was building in small, visible ways. Luke's reputation as an easygoing country star made the shift even more noticeable to longtime fans. The confrontation truly began when a question referenced a recent controversy surrounding the industry, linking Luke's name to comments he had previously avoided addressing. The phrasing caught him off guard, and for a brief second, the studio fell silent. Luke clarified his stance calmly, but his voice carried a firmness that suggested he felt cornered rather than invited into an honest discussion. Instead of easing off, the follow-up question pushed further, challenging his explanation and implying contradiction. Luke leaned forward, clearly engaged but visibly irritated. He attempted to redirect the conversation back to music and positivity, emphasizing why he came on the show in the first place. The exchange, though still professional, had crossed onto uncomfortable territory for both guest and hosts. Behind the cameras, producers reportedly signaled to keep things moving, but the momentum of the moment couldn't be undone. Luke's responses grew shorter, and he stopped making eye contact as frequently. For a performer used to controlling the stage, the loss of narrative control in a live broadcast was evident. The cheerful morning show vibe had nearly vanished. The breaking point came when one host framed the issue as something Luke needed to answer for, a phrase that immediately changed his demeanor. He paused, exhaled, and shook his head slightly. In that moment, viewers could sense his patience wearing thin. Luke explained that he felt the question was unfair and not representative of his actual words or intentions. When the host attempted to interrupt, Luke raised his hand politely but firmly, signaling he wanted to finish speaking. His tone remained controlled, yet the emotional weight behind it was unmistakable. He expressed disappointment that the conversation had shifted away from respect and mutual understanding. The studio audience sat quietly, aware they were witnessing an unscripted moment. After concluding his point, Luke thanked the hosts for having him but made it clear he was uncomfortable continuing under those circumstances. The words were calm, but the message was strong. Without raising his voice or creating a scene, he stood up from his chair. The movement alone signaled that the interview had taken an unexpected turn. Cameras struggled to adjust as Luke removed his microphone and offered a brief nod to the hosts. Some attempted to smooth things over, suggesting a break or a change of topic, but Luke had already made his decision. He stated that he believed in respectful dialogue and felt it was best to step away. With that, he walked off the set. The hosts looked visibly stunned as producers quickly cut to a commercial break. Viewers flooded social media within seconds, sharing clips and reactions. Many praised Luke for maintaining composure, while others debated whether the questions were justified. The walk-off instantly became one of the most talked-about television moments of the day. After the broadcast, sources close to Luke revealed that he felt blindsided by the line of questioning. He had agreed to appear to promote music and connect with fans, not to be placed on the defensive over sensitive topics. According to insiders, Luke values open conversation but believes timing and context matter. especially on live television. Good Morning America later released a brief statement acknowledging the tense moment and emphasizing their commitment to balanced journalism. They expressed regret that the interview ended abruptly but did not directly address the specific questions that caused the walk-off. The carefully worded response did little to slow the online debate already unfolding. Fans rallied around Luke, pointing to his long-standing reputation as approachable and respectful. Many argued that the interview crossed a line by prioritizing confrontation over conversation. Clips of Luke's earlier charitable work and positive interviews resurfaced, reinforcing the image of an artist who prefers unity rather than public disputes. Critics, however, felt that public figures should be prepared for tough questions, especially in a live media setting. They argued that walking off could be seen as avoiding accountability. This divide only fueled further discussion, turning the moment into a broader conversation about celebrity interviews and journalistic boundaries. Media analysts weighed in, noting how live television magnifies every gesture and pause. They explained that while conflict drives ratings, it also risks alienating guests and audiences. Luke's walk-off, they said, highlighted the fine line between holding someone accountable and pushing them into a defensive corner. In the days following, Luke addressed the incident indirectly during a concert, thanking fans for their support and emphasizing the importance of kindness. He avoided naming the show or hosts but made it clear he stood by his decision. The crowd responded with loud applause, showing where many fans stood. Fellow artists also shared subtle messages of support, posting about respect in interviews and the pressure performers face in public life. While no one explicitly criticized Good Morning America, the industry response suggested a shared understanding of how quickly situations can escalate on live TV. The incident also sparked conversations about preparation and communication between booking teams and show producers. Many questioned whether Luke had been adequately briefed on the interview's direction. Transparency, they argued, could prevent similar moments in the future and protect both guests and shows from public fallout. From a cultural standpoint, the walk-off reflected growing tensions between entertainment and commentary. Audiences increasingly expect celebrities to speak on complex issues, while artists often seek spaces to focus on their craft. Luke's decision symbolized the struggle to balance those expectations in real time. As clips continued circulating, body language experts analyzed Luke's posture and expressions, pointing out signs of restraint rather than aggression. They noted that his calm exit, rather than an outburst, suggested a conscious choice to de-escalate rather than inflame the situation further. Ratings for the episode reportedly spiked due to the viral moment, proving once again how controversy captures attention. However, long-term trust between shows and guests can be harder to rebuild. Industry insiders suggested that both sides would likely move forward cautiously after such a public moment. Luke's fans emphasized that walking away can sometimes be an act of self-respect, not avoidance. They praised his ability to set boundaries on a platform where many feel pressured to comply. The narrative of strength through calmness resonated widely across social media platforms. Good Morning America hosts resumed their usual format in subsequent episodes, avoiding direct references to the incident. Still, the shadow of the walk-off lingered, reminding viewers how unpredictable live television can do when real emotions surface. Over time, the moment became less about blame and more about reflection. Viewers discussed how interviews could foster understanding instead of conflict. Luke's walk-off served as a case study in how quickly intentions can clash when communication breaks down. In interviews weeks later, Luke returned to discussing music, tours, and fans, choosing not to revisit the confrontation publicly. His focus on moving forward reinforced the idea that the walk-off was not about drama, but about preserving personal values. The incident remains a reminder that even seasoned performers can reach a limit. Live TV offers no rewind, no edit, and no buffer for emotions. Luke's choice highlighted the human side of celebrity, often hidden behind polished performances and rehearsed answers. For audiences, the moment sparked empathy and debate in equal measure. Some saw themselves in Luke's frustration, while others questioned how media should challenge public figures. The conversation extended far beyond one interview. Ultimately, the walk-off became part of Luke Bryan's public story, not as a scandal, but as a defining moment of boundary setting. Whether praised or criticized, it demonstrated that respect remains a core issue in public discourse. As time passes, the heated confrontation on Good Morning America stands as a powerful example of live television's unpredictability. Luke Bryan's calm yet firm exit continues to be discussed as a moment where personal principles took precedence over staying on camera. After the incident, discussions on social media expanded to highlight the pressures faced by artists in high-profile media appearances. Fans debated whether hosts crossed a line or whether celebrities should always maintain composure. Memes, video clips, and commentary flooded Twitter and Instagram, turning the walk-off into a trending topic for days. Analysts noted how viral moments like this can redefine public perception of a celebrity almost instantly. Meanwhile, Luke's team clarified that he had prepared to discuss his upcoming projects and charity work. The unexpected shift in questioning caught him off guard. Sources close to him revealed that he prefers interviews that maintain a positive focus, rather than delving into controversies. This made his decision to leave the show both strategic and principled, prioritizing his own comfort and image management. Some viewers praised the way Luke handled the confrontation with dignity. Unlike many high-profile clashes that result in shouting or dramatic outbursts, he maintained professionalism while clearly signaling his boundaries. Body language experts highlighted his calm posture and steady tone as signs of emotional intelligence, suggesting that leaving the set was a method to maintain control without escalating tensions. The incident also prompted broader conversations about celebrity vulnerability. While fans are accustomed to seeing polished appearances, moments like this expose the human side of public figures. Luke's walk-off reminded audiences that even seasoned entertainers have limits and may act to protect their mental and emotional well-being. News outlets quickly published recaps, often emphasizing the heated confrontation aspect. Headlines varied from sympathetic to critical, reflecting the media's tendency to dramatize incidents for clicks. Luke's representatives expressed that the focus should remain on his music, upcoming tours, and philanthropic work, rather than a fleeting controversy. Industry insiders noted that this was not the first time an artist has walked off a live television segment, but the calm and respectful manner in which Luke exited made it stand out. It reinforced the idea that sometimes avoiding conflict is the wiser choice, particularly when a public setting can amplify misunderstandings. Fans also drew parallels with other recent celebrity interview conflicts, comparing approaches and outcomes. Many argued that Luke's measured exit contrasted with more confrontational or defensive responses, which often escalate and dominate media cycles. His choice became a model for balancing self-respect with public engagement. On social media, hashtags referencing the incident trended rapidly. Users shared clips, quotes, and screenshots, dissecting every frame. While some criticized the network for their questioning, others debated Luke's decision, showcasing how public reactions often vary widely. Analysts suggested that this conversation highlighted evolving expectations of celebrities and media conduct. The studio, meanwhile, issued statements emphasizing professionalism and the live nature of the broadcast. Producers noted that interviews can shift unexpectedly, and that staff aim to maintain respectful dialogue at all times. However, the subtle acknowledgement of the incident revealed an awareness of how unprecedented moments like this resonate with viewers. Luke Bryan's decision to leave was not only a personal boundary but also a public statement. It suggested that he values fairness and mutual respect in dialogue, refusing to engage in discussions he perceives as misleading or antagonistic. Fans interpreted this as a demonstration of integrity, reinforcing his reputation beyond music alone. The entertainment press analyzed the impact on Luke's image. While some commentators questioned if walking off could be seen negatively, many argued that the respectful approach mitigated potential damage. The incident instead reinforced his authenticity, highlighting a human approach in an industry often dominated by carefully curated personas. Following the walk-off, interviews with other artists reflected a cautious tone. Many spoke about the pressures of live television, emphasizing preparation, emotional control, and choosing battles wisely. Luke Bryan's experience became a reference point for understanding when to assert boundaries versus when to endure challenging questions. Fans continued to celebrate Luke's decision through posts, videos, and online discussions. Some created compilations of his career highlights, emphasizing his professionalism and charm. Others shared personal stories, relating the walk-off to experiences of standing up for oneself in difficult situations. The incident transcended entertainment, touching on broader themes of self-respect. Analysts noted that moments like this highlight the tension between journalistic inquiry and celebrity comfort. Interviews that push for sensationalism often clash with artists' desire to share meaningful content. Luke Bryan's calm exit illustrated how a guest can assert agency without turning the situation into a scandalous spectacle. The walk-off also raised questions about live broadcast protocols. Experts debated whether producers could have intervened or adjusted questions to prevent discomfort. Some suggested that pre-interview briefings should include potential controversial topics, allowing guests to prepare adequately and maintain composure without feeling ambushed. Following the incident, Luke's public appearances returned to focus on his music. Interviews emphasized tours, songwriting, and fan engagement, avoiding controversy entirely. This strategic choice demonstrated his intent to control the narrative while continuing to connect with audiences in a positive, productive manner. The incident inspired a wave of supportive messages from fellow celebrities. Tweets and posts highlighted the importance of setting boundaries and speaking only when ready. While no one directly criticized the network, the collective acknowledgement of Luke's choice reinforced the significance of emotional intelligence in high-pressure settings. Media training programs highlighted the episode as a case study. Professionals discussed how to maintain professionalism under pressure and recognize when disengagement is the most constructive option. Luke Bryan's response was cited as an example of a balanced, assertive approach that minimizes public fallout. The story also sparked conversations about fan loyalty. Many admired that Luke prioritized personal integrity over public exposure. Supporters emphasized that celebrity behavior should not always be judged harshly, recognizing that walking away can sometimes be an act of courage and self-respect rather than avoidance. Social media commentary evolved into broader discussions about the relationships between celebrities and media. Fans debated expectations for transparency, accountability, and emotional resilience. Luke's incident served as a lens to explore the challenges public figures face in live television settings, highlighting the delicate balance required. Some journalists argued that the walk-off was a teachable moment for both hosts and guests. It illustrated the importance of reading the room, respecting boundaries, and understanding the potential impact of phrasing sensitive questions. Luke's calm exit demonstrated how communication style and timing can prevent escalation. In the aftermath, memes and lighthearted commentary circulated widely, showcasing internet culture's quick turn from serious analysis to humor. While many joked about the walk-off moment, underlying admiration for Luke's composure remained clear. The blend of entertainment and analysis reflected the multi-layered reaction to live TV incidents. The incident became a point of reference in entertainment podcasts, where hosts dissected the event minute by minute. Discussions highlighted Luke's restraint, the host's intentions, and the dynamics of live television. Listeners gained insight into how small shifts in conversation can lead to dramatic outcomes in high-profile interviews. As the story settled in public memory, commentators emphasized the importance of empathy. Luke's decision encouraged discussions about understanding the pressures public figures face. Fans and media alike reflected on how judgment should be tempered with awareness of context and emotional strain. The walk-off also influenced how future interviews with high-profile artists are approached. Producers reportedly began to consider the emotional tone more carefully, balancing challenging questions with opportunities for positive engagement. Luke's incident served as a catalyst for reflection in live media practices. In the weeks that followed, fan engagement around Luke's music increased. Concert tickets, streaming, and social media activity surged, suggesting that public support for his integrity translated into continued enthusiasm for his career. The walk-off, rather than harming his image, reinforced his appeal as a principled and relatable figure. Analysts highlighted the long-term implications for celebrity-media relations. Luke Bryan's walk-off demonstrated that respectful disengagement can preserve reputation while asserting personal limits. This contrasted with more reactive or defensive behaviors that often dominate tabloid narratives, providing a case study for managing public perception. The incident also became a discussion point for mental health advocates. Experts highlighted the stress of live interviews and the importance of self-care. Luke's choice was seen as prioritizing mental well-being, reinforcing the idea that emotional boundaries are essential even in high-pressure, public professions. Commentary shifted to the broader context of celebrity vulnerability. Fans and media recognize that live television can amplify anxiety, especially when unexpected questions arise. Luke's calm exit was interpreted as a proactive measure to maintain dignity, preventing a situation from spiraling into conflict. Ultimately, the walk-off on Good Morning America became part of Luke Bryan's narrative not as scandal, but as a moment of integrity. It illustrated the balance between public engagement and personal boundaries, providing a memorable lesson in how celebrities can navigate high-pressure situations with professionalism and self-respect.